Hey, what's up guys, my name is Fox and welcome to another video. Last Thursday we got some amazing news. The new Stronghold research will be coming with the Vykas patch, which means on June 30th. This means that once you have finished the Stronghold research, all of your alts that you will be pushing from 1370 to 1415 will have increased honing chances and also cost less materials. That's really good news for everyone. Now the question that remains, to what item level should you push your alts, or should you even push them at all? And that's exactly what we're going to have a look at in this video. And honestly, the results may surprise you, so make sure to stay tuned. Before I start with any of the math or explanations, there's a few things I want to mention. This video will only cover efficiency, aka is it efficient to push your alts. This is not taking into account if you want to play more or push a character for fun, because these are not variables I can take into account. Number 2, in these examples I'm also going to assume that you will be having enough bound leapstones and shards on your alts to reach your desired item level. I highly suggest to not push any alt without sufficient bound leapstones because the costs will stack up rapidly. Lastly, I'm only accounting for generated gold income. This means the additional materials that you receive from Descaluda or Chaos Dungeon are not taken into account, nor are any valuable drops, since that is total RNG and might never happen. Now, let's get started. Currently, our optimal parking spot used to be 1370. This was a very nice parking spot due to having access to Array as well hard mode and Argos phase 1 generating additional gold. Our fixed income here was 2,900 gold for the lowest amount of investment. Now it's time to push our beloved alts to Vulcan or higher. So let's do some quick maths. Our optimal push after having the research is to distribute your item level on different pieces and looks the following: 17 on gloves, 17 on shoulders, 13 on the headpiece, 12 on the chest and legs, and finally 11 on the weapon. This is obviously not the most damage possible since your weapon is only level 11, but this is the most optimal route for saving your gold and get the most out of your damage. With this in mind, let's have a quick look at our costs. The prices used in this example are the current average prices on EU Central and obviously might vary big time depending on the region you play on, so take it with a grain of salt. Also, as you can see, both the shards and leapstones have zero value because they should be bound. Still, our costs to push item level 1415 will amount to a total of 85,500 gold in an average scenario. Obviously, if you have farmed up all the materials, the raw gold cost would only be 25,000. If you ask me, this is still a very expensive push. But for now, let's quickly check how much more gold will you make once you do reach item level 1415. As a reminder, our gold income on 1370 was 2,900. Now this looks different. We do not obtain any gold anymore from Array as well hard mode, but gain more gold from doing Argos phase 3 instead of phase 1, and of course the Vulcan gold, which is exactly 3,300 for Vulcan normal mode, gate 1 and gate 2 combined. This means we are obtaining 2,700 gold from Argos P3 and 3,300 from Vulcan, amounting to a solid 6,000 gold per week. But we have to take out the amount of gold that our alts already generated earlier, which was a solid 2,900 gold per week already. This means we're left with an additional 3,100 gold per week when pushing from 1370 to 1415. Again, take what comes now with a grain of salt, as it's not accounting for any additional materials you make like leapstones from Descaluda or good drops you might be getting from Vulcan. It will take you around 27 weeks, which is around half a year, to make back the additional gold that you invested into pushing your alt. On paper, that is. In reality, you probably have some solar materials on your alts, might be a bit luckier than average, have some events helping you to push with bound materials, might get a lucky drop, and of course generate, simply put, more materials because you have access to higher content. An educated guess is that will take around 4 months on average to make back the gold you invested. There is one but though. With Vykas, you will have access to additional gold resources, and quite a lot. 3,300 additional gold per week will make a massive difference, yet you will also have to push your armor higher to actually get to that item level. Either you can be patient and use the free taps you get from Vulcan, or just push again with bound leapstones. In order to make it to Vykas item level, you would need to push the pieces of armor that you had below 17 to level 16 at least, and your weapon to level 12. Mind you, I'm not suggesting to have a level 12 weapon for Vykas, but this is cost efficient, which is what we're calculating here. It will cost you an additional 38,000 gold to push to Vykas item level to receive 3,300 gold per week. As you can see, this evens out roughly to 11 weeks to make this back. So let's see now for how long you need to run Vykas, Vulcan and Argos to make back your full 1430 investment. It will cost you 123,000 gold to push to 1430, but you also generate now 9,300 gold per week instead of 6,000 gold. This means your bonus is now 6,400 gold instead of 3,100, which is pretty big compared to what it was before. Now it will only take you around 4.5 months to actually make the gold back in raw value, that is. As always, if you account for some RNG and the additional materials that you're getting, you might be looking at around 3 months to make the value back. This is still a lot of time, of course, but it already looks much better. The reason is because we are more than doubling our weekly bonus to what it was before. You of course also have more chances at good drops due to clearing Vykas on a weekly basis. The question remains, should we push our alts or not? The reason why you might want to hold off from pushing is due to the fact that we're missing the Nostalgia honing chances. The Nostalgia patch was introduced in Korea a long time ago and increases chances and reduces the costs massively. Yet I also do believe it will take very long for us to actually receive the Nostalgia patch. So honestly, if you want to play LostArk and have more leads in Rage, pushing alts is actually the way to go. My personal suggestion is to push your characters to 1413 with 2 armor pieces at plus 17 and 3 armor pieces at plus 16. Your weapon should still be only plus 12, which is honestly not great, but you can now use the weekly free upgrades that you obtain from Vykas and Vulcan to gamble for free weapon taps. This will then slowly take you to 1445, where you will then be able to craft your relic sets. This at least will probably be my plan, and honestly doesn't sound too bad. So again, if you feel like doing more Vulcan and more Vykas, this honestly is a good moment to push due to the fact that it will take a long time until the Nostalgia update will arrive, in my opinion. Also, something that I obviously cannot take into account are the amount of fun you will have while doing more Vulcans, and of course also for Vykas. On top of that, we are all tired of doing Yoho at 1370, so let's go to do comfortable Descaluda. And with that, we're at the end of this video. I hope you guys learned something today. I was genuinely surprised with the results after doing some math that pushing to 1430 is actually much better and will make back your gold much faster than otherwise. I mean, looking at the big picture, I saw it coming, but still, usually 1415 was always a great spot, but in our version we lost your rare gold immediately, now meaning that you should push to 1430 basically. Let me know in the comments below what you will be doing with your alts. Will you leave them at 1370? Will you push them to 1430 or even 1445? Because I'm obviously curious to know what you guys are going to do. Now on top of that, of course, if you did learn something today, make sure to leave a like and hit that subscribe button. That would help me a lot. I also, of course, have a Twitter on which you can follow me to never miss any updates. And I also stream on Twitch every week where you can ask me any questions that you have regarding LostArk or any other things. On that note, as always, wishing you all an amazing rest of your day wherever you live.